Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here in Texas, Dallas, Texas to be precise. With me, I've got Tom Saunders, Billy Joe Saunders' dad. First and foremost, Billy, Tom, sorry, I do apologise. How are you finding the bubble life? How are you finding this in Texas?
The bubble started today, and no, it's all right. You know, it is what it is.
Well, I've seen Billy Joe was just in there doing a little training session and that. How was Billy looking? Because me personally, I looked at Billy on all the photos that have been put out on social media, the video from yesterday. I mean, he is looking in tremendous shape. How is Billy physically and mentally going into this fight?
The best I've ever seen him for any fight. He's been doing things on the run-up to this fight that I haven't seen before. He's so switched on. He's strong as a bull, and he just can't wait to fight. There's a few issues that we got to sort out, which we're not happy about, which is just like sort of popped up this morning, and that is about the ring, like, you know, the size of the ring. Matchroom wants us to box in an 18-foot inner ring, you know. Then they've come back with a 20-foot ring. It was supposed to be a 24-foot ring, right? And now we've compromised and said that no smaller than a 22 inner ring, you know, 22 foot in a ring. Well, you know, MTK's on it, you know, and they're all over it now, and hopefully they'll sort it out, and I'm sure it will be. But for Matchroom, I mean, to want Billy Joe to box in an 18-foot inner ring, well, it's an amateur ring. Mm-hmm. You know, they're trying. It seems like to me, and this is the gospel honest truth, that I mean, 18 to a 20-foot ring, they're trying to take Billy Joe's advantage away from him. And we haven't got many advantages here, I'm telling you. I mean, we're up against everything, you know, everything. And it seems like to me that Eddie Hearn's gone. I mean, I don't like keep, you know, running the man down. He is Billy Joe's promoter, and he's done. He's done what he said he could do. He has delivered this fight. But at what cost? You know? He's not working with us, he's working against us in every opportunity. Now he knows Billy Joe, I mean, to face Canelo in an 18 to a 20-foot ring, that's ridiculous. Yeah. You know? But as for, I mean, we've left it at 22 foot, no lower. Inner ring's got to be 22 foot, otherwise we're flying home.
Are you unhappy, Tom, with the promotion? Not just you, but obviously Team Saunders here. Are you unhappy with the promotion? Because I know you've done an interview a couple of weeks back, unhappy about the British judge side of things. And do you feel like you're the forgotten party in this, even though you are promoted by Eddie Hearn?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stuff what could have been done, you know, to make Eddie Hearn's fighter happy. You know, obviously it's give and take. But I mean, we're from the UK, and the last crop of UK fighters that's come over have more or less given the titles away. Mm-hmm. You know, they've sold them for a paycheck. Now, I don't know how Smith was getting treated. I really don't. But the way we're getting treated, everything's a struggle. Everything's a struggle. Even Billy Joe, even had to pay for his own fight corner to come over. You know, rooms. It's every little opportunity just to try to knock you back. And this morning, when the issue come up about the ring, it shouldn't be an issue. You know, to expect Billy Joe to box in that 18 to 20 foot ring is absolutely ridiculous.
What was in the contract, Tom, if you don't mind me asking? Was the size of the ring inside in the contract when it was signed?
As far as I'm aware, yeah. I mean, I think the standards, I think the largest ring is 26 foot. I think this state, it's from 26 to 22, I think. I'm not sure. But as I say, MTK's on it and they're sorting it out. But Eddie Hearn, you know, Matchroom wants to pull the finger out, because otherwise, you know, we will be coming out home. So, I mean, I want the fight to happen. Billy Joe wants it to happen. But we will not budge on this, you know. We will not budge.
Thing is, you say that you want the fight to happen, Billy Joe, so does all the fans back. Everybody wants this fans, because out of everybody that Canelo can fight in the super middleweight division, from Callum Smith, who he beat, from Yildirim, who was his mandatory, to Caleb Plant, who's IBF champion, everyone thinks that it's Billy Joe that's going to give Canelo the hardest problems. I mean, we've seen Canelo fight southpaws before. He's had problems. The slick style of fighter. Well, I'm not saying Billy Joe is Floyd Mayweather by any stretch of the imagination, but we have seen Canelo struggle with these types of fighters. So Billy Joe is, well, in your opinion, is Billy Joe the man to beat Canelo?
Canelo's going to get, honestly, the biggest surprise of his life. Canelo is, this last few years, he likes yes men around him. He has forgot where he comes from. He's flying up and down in his private jets and everything. He's forgot where he's come from. He's relied on 2 occasions where he should have been beat. The judges have gone his way. And at the end of the day, we're not yes men. And Canelo's going to have the shock of his life. If this fight comes off, right?
I hope it does.
So do I can't wait. But we will not budge from that in a ring issue. But Canelo, I'm telling you, he's a beat man.
Just the ring issue as well, is that because for Billy Joe to beat Canelo, he needs to do what he does best and box and stay on the back foot and skills and stuff like that?
Skill is going to beat this man. I'll tell you what it is. It's the bull and the matador, right? And the matador outthinks the bull, right, until he's ready to slay the bull. And this is what's going to happen here.
So the 18-foot ring, that's obviously far too small for somebody like Billy to operate in.
It's an amateur size ring. Come on.
And 2 grown super middleweights.
Biggest fight so far in 2021, the biggest crowd, which was worked in on the last minute. It's supposed to be 15,000 people. That was what was agreed upon. And next thing, it's 70,000 people, but no adjustment in the purse because obviously contracts have been signed. But it is what it is. We'll accept that. We'll accept flying our own team over, right? Because we'll accept an handful of tickets, right? We got barely enough tickets to get our own team in. We'll accept all that, but we're not going to accept an 18 to 20 foot ring. Who do they think that? Who does Eddie Hearn and Matchroom think they are? It's like they're trying to sell the British fighters. They're trying to sell the British fighters down the river. That's what it seems like to me, because when you're here, it's not like, they're not working for you. Back home, I don't know Eddie Hearn, but...
Have you met Eddie Hearn before?
I've met him. Yeah. I've met him on 3 occasions. It's been business. I don't know the man personally, but his business side of things, I'm not happy with. It's as simple as that. You can't. I know he's got business obligations with
Canelo.
Yeah, right. I know he's co-promoting with Canelo, and I understand that. But you've got to show your fighter some, respect. Not every corner, every little thing just trying to upset you. It ain't upsetting us, right? But we're not idiots. Mm-hmm. And if he wants this fight to, go ahead, and, the world wants to see this fight, sort the ring issue out with MTK.
Well, I spoke to somebody, I won't name names. We were having a discussion about the fight itself, and he told me that Billy Joe is already 4 rounds down going into this fight with Canelo, and not that big huge stadium behind us, 70,000 Mexican fans, Mexican American fans. Are you up against it here? Is this a tough ask? Does Billy Joe need to go into this ring and not just win the round by this much? He needs to go in there and absolutely put it on Canelo in terms of skill set and punching ability?
Billy Joe will do what Billy Joe does best, and that's box. And as I say, he looks absolutely the best shape I've ever seen. He's solid. His speed's there, his timing's there, everything's there. As for the judging issue, I've been told that, as I say, it's experienced judges. I think there's got one more judge to sort out. I know that one judge was rejected, as far as I'm aware. But so far, you've got 2 experienced judges there.
You happy with the judges, Tom?
Yes, with MTK and that, they was on that and they've been sorting that out, and we're told there's 2 experienced neutral judges. But in this fight, I'll tell you what's going to happen in this fight, because Canelo, at the end of the day, he's overconfident. In the past, when it's been real big fights, he's relied on the judges. There's going to be 2 honest judges on this panel, right, with God in their hearts. And there's going to be one judge what ain't got God in his heart. He might have a pocket full of cash, I don't know. But guaranteed, at the end of the day, one judge will give it to Canelo if it goes the distance by a wide margin. You watch. There always is. So, Billy Joe's up against the wall, yeah. But we're going to win.
You seem confident. I know, like, I spoke to Billy Joe's team here as well this morning in the gym. They're confident. The size of Billy Joe, he looks strong, he looks fast. Even Sheldon says that he looked absolutely phenomenal in there in the working out. So, have you seen something different in Billy this camp? And we know he's had big fights before with like Chris Eubank Jr. and David Lumu out in Canada. But is there something different inside Billy, the way he took this camp on and the way he's met this camp head on that you've never seen before?
He's switched on. He's been doing things, as I say, that I haven't seen before. Always knew that there was something more to see from Billy Joe, and he's switched on big time. I've never seen him like it. He's so confident. He just can't wait to fight, and that's what I say. It's just a shame that these issues can't be sorted out, so it's over and done with, and we can just concentrate on the fight.
When can we expect these issues to be resolved then? Are you hoping as soon as possible? Would you hear the date? I don't know. Obviously, I'm not privy to anything that's going on here, but for you as Team Saunders, when can we find out about these issues and when will they be resolved?
Today. If they're not sorted out today, if we don't hear today, there's no way it's going to be left till 2-3 days before the fight, and we're still going on with this issue. We're professionals. Billy Joe's here to win. Matchroom's got to pull a finger out, speak to Eddie Hearn's fighter, Canelo, and they want to sort it out because we're serious. And I'll tell you another thing too. In Vegas, I spoke to a lot of people. I was there for 4.5 weeks. A lot of boxers, a lot of trainers, a lot of ex-boxers, and there was a few people telling me a few tricks of the Canelo team, right? Because we all know they like the Mexican beef, and we all know they like it juicy, and they normally stop that about 3 weeks before the fight, in small doses. He likes his Mexican beef, very juicy, right? And the whole complete gym is known for that. And another thing, I was speaking to one fellow, and he said, right, and he was an oldish guy, and he said about his hand wraps. I said, what do you mean? He said, man, check his hand wraps. He said, in big fights, he overwraps his hands. I said, yeah. He said he has his gloves made to compensate for the overwrapping. He said he don't do it in every fight. I said, no. Right? Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm listening, I'm taking these things on board. And these things will be fetched up at the press conference, right? So on fight night, I want if it comes off, I want one of Billy Joe's team, the same as far as I'm aware. He can do the same in the dressing room while his hands are being wrapped. So her man can check to see if they're over-wrapped, if it is true. Check the gloves, the same as their man can do with Billy Joe. Right, there's no problems there on her side. And if he happens to wrap his hands before her man gets in, then we don't enter the ring until he takes his gloves off and and we check. It's as simple as that.
I'm sure a member of your team will be privy to be allowed inside the changing room to see them wraps get put on.
I don't know, because it seems every corner you turn, there's an issue. There's an issue. They're small issues, but they should be sorted out, with no problems. But every corner there's an issue. There's an issue, and it's not good. It's not good. And the UK's got a fighter here that's here to do a job, and he's going to do it, and he's going to do it in style. And it just seems you ain't getting the right sort of work out from your promoter. Not in my opinion, anyway.
Well, we've seen Tyson Fury say on his Instagram stories as well. He's basically been calling out Eddie Hearn for the way he's promoted this fight in terms of how he's mentioned Billy Joe in the promotion and how he's mentioned Canelo in the promotion. So do you feel the same way as Tyson Fury in terms of how he's navigated this promotion?
Eddie Hearn said in his interview it's like that it's like them versus the world. It's always been us versus the world, Hitler tried to exterminate us. He was shooting us on sight, right, as vermin. But we never get mentioned, with the Holocaust and things like that there. Jews do. But we got treated worse than Jews. And at the end of the day, that's what's kept us alive. It's bred in us. It's in her, her instincts, it's in her DNA. And my instincts are telling me that every corner here you turn, there's always an issue. And yes, he's going to say that, because Billy Joe wouldn't do no press work while he was over in Vegas. He done a certain amount. But we don't want a camera team following him up and down, telling him to do this, telling him to do that. No, we're there to train. So Eddie Hearn's going to come out and say, yes, well, that's why Canelo's been getting a bit more press, because he's been doing press work. Joe done loads of press work in Ace Ventura, and we got a load to do here now. So that's what Eddie Hearn's going to say, that, but he's promoting the Canelo gravy train. But that gravy train's going to be derailed. You watch.
Well, I'm excited. I love Texas. I love being out here. I'm excited to see 70,000 fans back in the arena as well. But Billy Joe, he does the inevitable. Well, not the inevitable, but the unthinkable in a lot of people's minds, that he does beat Canelo, because right now, pound for pound number one, people say he's unbeatable right now. Canelo, if he does go on and do it on Saturday night, what's next with Billy? Do you think he's going to unify this division and maybe go after Caleb Plant? Will he retire? Have you spoke about it? What's next if he does go on and win Saturday night?
We'll get past Alvarez first, and then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it'll be a good night. It'll be a good night for UK, boxing in the hole. And, I'm really looking forward to the fight, as simple as that.
Well, fingers crossed these issues get resolved.
Please God, but they need to pull a finger out today, because we're not yes men. We don't know how Smith was treated over here. But if you're standing there with your finger in your mouth and not speak up, you're going to get railroaded, and we're not going to get railroaded here. No way.
Well, Tom, would you like to add one more final word to the fans back home in the UK?
Tune in and watch history being made. Thank you very much.
Tom, I do appreciate your time. Thank you so much for the interview, and I'll probably see you throughout the week and maybe get another one.
Hopefully, yes.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you.